What would you do if you had an extra $20,000 in your bank account right now? Restart progress on my life. Building up from the bottom takes a long ass time. I fixed my car that has been decommissioned for a few months with a popped brake line. I put most of it into my business project. Running on a shoestring is a real kick in the teeth. I've got a lot of inefficiency from operating at a small scale. It gets to me sometimes, thinking about how I have paid more than my car's value in 3 years of tabs and minimum liability only insurance. Money I could have spent making my car better. Buy my mom a car, get myself through the driving test, long overdue dentist appointment, see if my sisters need anything, buy my 7-year-old the Barbie dream house for Christmas, spoil my best friends who helped me survive my separation last year and pretty much saved my life. Do something nice for the person I'm dating who is restoring my faith in humanity, and put the rest in my savings account so I may possibly one day maybe be able to have a deposit for a house. Worried face. What would you do? For the first time in my life. I do actually. I've pretty much taken care of all the little perpetual issues and stuff that I've been financially incapable of resolving for the past forever. Personally, though, I don't really care about money. I've been dirt poor my entire life, and I've never even had something that vaguely resembles a family to fall back on. TBH, once you take care of the immediate issues, having it doesn't feel any different than not, man. Shrugging. I would try to remember the time when $20,000 not only made me feel rich, but was the life-changing sum of money. Don't get me wrong, it isn't. It would change my life circumstances quite a bit. But it's no longer what it was not that long ago. That used to be a mediocre salary that could get you through a whole year. These days that barely puts a roof over your head. I would pay off my driving suspended tickets. I was pulled over with no insurance doing 55 and 45 miles per hour in a construction zone with no seat belt. I didn't pay the $1,700 ticket. I went 13 years with a suspended license. I went to jail over 60 times with 18 driving suspended charges. I finally got my license, and if I don't pay the fines I will lose it again. I rented a small space in a sort of mall, not really a mall, it's a lot smaller than that, but I don't know what to call it. It's a 3 meters by 2 meters space really, where I personalize mugs, mousepads and other stuff. I will invest in making it bigger, getting better quality tools and different merch. Though I would rest for a week stress-free before that. NGO, I first read it as $20. Confused AF at the replies. But to answer the question, pay off my car loan and move TF out of my apartment. MFS started charging trash reimbursement and stopped paying the water bill. Lump sum split between the units in my block. I pay $100 more for water when I'm only home 2 days a week. Finally breathe. Just take a day off for a trip to the planetarium. I've always wanted to take my son, which would be roughly $200,400 depending on entrance prices and food and travel. Then sit on the rest and provide a better quality of living for a few years, hopefully get me over this hump. Give some to some struggling friends in need. Some I would spend on more Magic the Gathering. Some would go towards my debts. Some to charity. While most of it I would invest into stocks to lose over time. Well, over time some would also be spent on beta readings by my editor for my book project. Our central gas heating is stupidly inefficient and expensive to run. We freeze in winter. I will get split systems in each main room or the house. I already had a quote, 13,000 Australian dollars. I live in a townhouse, the fuse box is awkwardly located. I would put the remaining 7K on solar panels. Well, for one thing I'd be able to start building a house, so I'd use it as a down payment on a loan to start building. But first I'd let it sit in my high interest savings account for at least 6 months and earn me just a little extra. It may not be all that much, but every penny helps. Assuming I've determined it isn't a bank error, probably think, well, that's cool, I still can't afford a down payment on a house, but that puts us a little closer. Then kind of go back to saving more money. Also probably put some of that into a college fund for our kid. Pay for my cat's $15,000 back surgery so he can walk without permanent pain meds again. His insurance may even cover some of it, but I can't get it done without having all of the money up front first, then wait for 4 months for the insurance to maybe reimburse some. Buy land with it, use the rest to put down on a trailer in said property. Learn to exist self-sufficient, the whole solar panels, water filtration, self-sufficient living type life. Get a dog or it both grow, but there I'm set for the rest of my life. Hold on to it for a few days, weeks to make sure it isn't going back where it came from. Once I feel comfortable keeping it, pay off any debt not titled mortgage, and then take a well-deserved vacation. Then whatever is left, put it to use as an investment. I took off 3 months from work, moved to a new state, landed an amazing job. I was laid off because the company closed to new ownership. Got a severance package that was valued more than I was making in a year as a metal framer. I really don't like the company I work for right now, so I would start looking for a new job with the confidence that if the new job didn't work out I would have money in the bank to live on until I found something else. Pay off the credit cards, give the rest to my responsible buddy for safekeeping. I have ADHD with a strong executive function impairment and so sick of feeling like I'm stuck in the same loop of financial regret. Pay off my car, pursue school full-time instead of part-time, sock half into my daughter's college fund. The possibilities are endless. First thing though, I'm buying a bag of shrooms and a fifth and celebrating. Cry a little bit at first, then get caught up with bills and maintenance on the house and cars. Not the sexiest answer but it's what I do. Anything left after that would go to getting a hearse for my wife. 1. Get the wheelchair I was prescribed but insurance won't cover. 2. Get the moldy, asbestos-backed lino in my kitchen professionally ripped up and replaced. I might have to pick just one of those TBH. Give some to our food bank. The line is getting longer every week. I've only been once in my life but I literally had no food in the house and it lasted till I got my paycheck. I'll never forget that. With just $20,000 I can live 16 months without working in Mexico City. X200B. Summed up with my savings, I would buy about 50 of a small studio apartment in Mexico City or 70 of one in Merida. I might consider saving or investing some of the money for the future, paying off debts if I had any, and perhaps treating myself to a small splurge while being mindful of my financial goals. Besides paying off a good chunk of debts, I'd probably try investing. Or at least survive a little more manageable till next paycheck so I don't have to worry if I'll make it to my next check. Feel a bit more likely to not wind up homeless in my old age. I'd invest the majority in something safe, and probably spend $2,000 on a trip since I've not really had one in 5 years. I'd fix my car, move out of my terrible apartment, and fix my life. Heck, I'd be happy with half cause that's all I did take. Get glasses so I could see clear again as an honorable mention. Lol. I would be able to leave my living situation. My abusive ex is my roommate and I started a job that I can afford rent on my own now but I don't have any money to move or for deposits. I'd pay the rent and buy a shitload of groceries for my father. Figure a person he's past due for August and doesn't know how he's going to pay on September 1st. Breaks my fucking heart. Honestly, nothing. I might take the kids for a weekend getaway, and stock the pantry deep freezer, but nothing big. The world is getting scary and you never know what's coming next. Lol. Panic. Anytime my account balance is more than I expect, I assume that I forgot to pay a bill. This amount would make me fear that I've forgotten to pay all of the bills. For months. Quit my job. $20,000 is enough to tide me over until I get a new one. Instead I'm trying to job search while stressed out of my mind from my boss going quite literally insane. I'd prob quit my job and start working a part-time job to hold me over while I start on my online business. Or I'd take me and my fiancé on a decent little vacation. It paid down my debt. I'm in desperate need of $20,000. But hey, I figure a few years of paying it down living paycheck to paycheck will get me there sooner or later. I'm fix my car. Pay down my credit cards that are over the limit from taking paid leave for PTSD, fix my sink and get a dishwasher. Huge life improvements. W20K. Shove it in high yield savings. Take resulting APY and shove it into crypto. Pay income tax. Flip government the bird. I personally hate being taxed to oblivion. I have a terrible habit of wanting to save every penny I get so I would probably save it and struggle willingly and die with the extra $20,000 in my bank account. Having worked for multiple banks, I'd call and have them rectify the issue. If I spend it, they'd take it back when they found the error, and I'd be screwed. I've started solo traveling, and next on my list is Amsterdam. So I'd probably book a trip there right away before summer is fully over. Then save the rest. Build me a good PC and get me so good games. Sleep while they download. Say nothing to family S&D and just try save for emergencies and get us better job. It's funny cause I actually just got $20K from an inheritance from my grandfather and I have no idea what to do with it. It's just been sitting in my bank. Quit my job and focus in my 2-year nursing internship. Working full-time and studying is a tremendous effort. I don't know if I'm going to make it alive. Breathe a sigh of relief. Pay off my credit card debt, and put the rest in savings while I try not to sob at having the majority of my stress alleviated. Pay off all my debt. I'm broke but I don't have much debt, take a vacation for the first time in decades, and stick at least 10 grand in the bank. Put like 90 into a high interest savings account for a few years. Use the remaining 10 to pay off bills and give my family a nice trip somewhere. Able to drag myself out of this shithole trailer I live in. Put a down payment on that Clayton Homes trailer I've been staring at for 7 years. Pay off all of my debts, fix my car to the fullest, buy a Steam Deck and all its accessories, take a long rest to let it all sink in, sleep, cover my bills while I'm getting cancer treatment, and give my dog all the good boy toys and treats, because he is the goodest of good brah. Literally live my life and chill out. Maybe put money down for a house but that's it. I don't ask for much, I just want to be comfortable. $170,000 instead of $150,000. Nothing special. Just let it sit I guess. Now I've read some replies. Christ, is everyone on Reddit broke? Utilize the awesome rates on CDs right now. 7 12-month CD brings me to $21,400. At the same time continuing to deposit in my savings. My car needs shocks all the way around. After that I would take my dog camping and clean up property I own. Get it ready for building. Buy a second car so my so and I don't have to share and he can find a better job. With the rest, replenish our very depleted savings. Assign $5,000 to properly start my business. Put aside $2,000 for car maintenance that needs to happen, and put the rest into an EMERG fund.